코만 큰 여편이. 그 여편 내 나이를 코로 먹었어. 당신이 더 곱고 어려 보이니까.
That's right. Cuss her off, Guanxi. Say it to her face next time. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to When Life Gives You Tangerines. We're now on episode 11, which is called Love by My Side. My Love by My Side. Sorry, My Love. So the last episode, we are still kind of following Gumyoung for the most part, and we see that she is getting to know this painter, this artist that she works with. And this is kind of in light of her breaking up, at least for now, from her boyfriend. There was a little bit of a class clash that the two of them had. And I guess Gumyoung is kind of just, I don't know, figuring things out, I guess, on that front. And now she's kind of gotten to know more about this artist and his life. And it turns out they might have more in common than not. I think he's definitely got a crush on her, but I'm not sure if she's seeing him quite like that yet. But I am interested to see what kind of happens here, because we know that Gumyoung does get married. We just don't know to whom at this point. So the plot continues to thicken, and I'm ready to jump into this episode and see what we got next. So let's do that. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know of when I drop episodes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now.
뒤틀려 있어가지고 다행히 환기가 많이 됐었나 봐요.
아유, 놓쳤으면 어쩔 뻔했어. 비행기 놓쳤으면 어쩔 뻔했어.
Let's not worry about that. You made it in time.
우리 금명이가 나보다 착해서 지 엄마를 봐준 거지.
How so?
어머니가 건강하셔야 또 금명 씨 지키시죠.
Exactly. She still needs her mom.
아이고.
You know how hard it was for you to lose your mom so early.
뭐 언년이 도련님 만나냐?
That is true.
그러니까 결혼하자고, 어? 하자고 그냥 빨리빨리 좀 하자고.
우리 엄마가.
Everyone's like, oh, okay, this is actually the place to be.
야, 쟤들 빼. 나가 놀라 그래.
Thank you. People are trying to convalesce here.
반지 받았으면 땡이지. 땡이지.
Why are you yelling, bro?
기름 보일러 살자고.
다이아도 아니고 무슨 기름 보일러로 사람
Right?
무시냐.
Like, bro, this is losing all the romance.
나들어 쌌네.
She's so embarrassed. Because she knows she would have done the same thing.
나쁜 일로 죽으면.
안 죽었잖아.
He really loves you.
응? 경정제대한 거 아니야?
너 죽으면 나 죽어.
Okay, drama. Exactly with her, like, sir, please breathe. Why are you making this about you now?
근근히.
Good for her. Good for her. Yes, actually, I would move on, sir. That's life.
귀여워.
That nurse is literally going to take the IV out and kick her out right now.
너 내 콧구멍 몰라? 응? 얼마 맛있지도 못해.
Ma'am, why are you mad at her mama? She is just like her mama.
우리 어머니랑 결혼하는 거 아니잖아.
But
우리 집은 내가 진짜 어떻게든 해볼게.
do it first.
어떻게든 책임져 볼게.
I want to see it first, though.
이제부터 너도 그냥 조금만 잘 보이면 되지.
I have to what? Exactly.
우리 어머니 마음은 약해.
Haven't seen it.
약한 분이 사람 면전에 그거.
Exactly.
안녕하세요, 어머니.
학생
어머니?
어머니가 우리 금명이를 마다해요?
Exactly.
효녀네 효녀. 네가 네 아버지 한 풀어주나 보다.
그 입 좀 장애가 팔고니라.
Why are you sleeping there, ma'am?
니네 까딱하면 남매 될 뻔했어.
Well,
넌 이제
it wouldn't have been
신이한테
siblings,
죽었죠.
really, because he wasn't born yet.
그 대단하던 첫사랑이 내 품에 당신이 될지.
Now you know. It doesn't really affect y'all, though. It happened before you were born, and you are no way related. So, as long as you're not like your daddy, girl, you're fine.
어디가 싫다는데요?
그게 아니고요, 어머니.
It is like that.
양금명 씨 보호자분.
Oh?
아까 여기가 엎부띠대.
That's right.
누구세요?
Creating none of your business. Right? Girls like, can I please convalesce?
결혼은 해볼까 했어.
She's loving it. She's loving it. It was so long ago, bro. It has nothing to do with you. Let it go. It's not like y'all are actually siblings. Calm down. Is he okay? How is this rocking his world? It's really not a big deal, bro.
재민이야!
It kind of was, actually. Seeing the way he reacted, it's really not that deep. Teenagers, it's not that deep, bro. Oh, does he feel like maybe he's betraying his dad? I didn't think about that.
차라리 밀어. 밀면 5만 원 줄게.
That's hilarious. But you notice that both the parents just kind of yell at him young? I don't think I like that. Like, talk to him.
지들 맘대로 막 바꾸면 꼴통들은 어떻게 대학 가라고?
I mean, it makes sense. Kids should be able to use their brains, not just memorize the exam answers.
고백 인연이 쌓여야 인생에 한 번 본다는데 이게 스칠 때도 좋으면 쫑입니다. 쫑.
Thank you. God, who hurt you, bro? That was so morose. But he's probably right. And you are technically kind of sort of engaged. So maybe best you leave him out of it.
막 뛰었다더니.
He did. I suppose that would make you swoon a little bit. But he saw that you have a man. So I don't blame him. He did the right thing. He didn't paint her. He didn't paint her. Picasso, are you also Don Juan?
가슴 한 뼘 안에서 부는 돌풍에 장사 있을까?
Oh, it's his mother.
모르시겠어요?
Isn't it? Isn't this Gum Young's boyfriend's mom? Am I wrong? Oh my gosh, he did. Oh, and it's a nice painting.
봄은 봄이라.
But he's gone for at least 2 years.
시로 보면 가난도 운치 있어 보이잖아요.
Oh,
돈
wow.
없는 거 진짜 멋대가리 없는 건데.
I didn't realize they've been talking for 2 years.
그 뭐 맘 정리하시는데 도움이 되실란간 모르겠는데요. 주인집 나타샤 화장 지우면 그냥 당나게 해요.
Wow.
어머니가 톡 푸른 그거 안 볼 거냐고.
Be helpful, depending on what she wants to do with it.
책 때문에.
Oh, right. For the books. She misses you.
나 참 불쌍하다. 내 인생 후졌다 하고 다니면 진짜 후져져요.
Tell him about it.
나 좀 그만 불쌍해하고
Exactly.
나 좀 이렇게 어화둥둥 해줘요. 기 좀 살게.
Even the poorest person has things to be proud of. Money isn't everything.
아우 진짜 등짝 푸드러 털렸다.
I've never seen him
무슨
laugh
줄도
before.
아시네?
Thank you. I was like, damn, dimples and everything. Oh, he was in love with you, girl. That's probably why he ran off to the army.
망한 가게방 앞에 혼자 서 있어도 반짝반짝 하잖아요. 두근두근 하잖아요. 나도 금명씨 어화동동 한번 해주고 싶어서.
You can't drop a line like that and walk away, player.
가세요?
Right? Let's so. Oh, he was saying goodbye. Okay, so this is right before he went to the army, but aw. Well, at least you know he meant it. He's not a extra flowery word kind of guy.
모두가 고개를 들고 다니던 시절이 있었다.
They're back together.
그때 우리는 휴대폰 대신 서로의 얼굴을 보고 있었다.
Well, it was a very different world pre-cell phones, that's for sure.
인생은 부모님 소원의 연속이었다.
Oh no. Nervous.
다 왔대 다. 서울은 차가 너무 막히시니까.
우리는 비행기도 타고 왔는데.
Let her know.
나보고 그러지 말라며.
엎어.
너 그러지 마. 그러지 마.
Dad does not want to give his only daughter away, period.
아, 길이 너무 막히셨죠. 차가 너무
Oh,
막히셔서
not
또
even a
멀리
glance
안
spared.
오셨어요.
Ma'am, why do you want... No.
구면이죠. 박근명입니다.
Shake his hand. He's not the jerk in the situation. Oh, look at his calloused hands.
양건병이 아빠 양건식입니다.
Wow. He sees him as a superior. Right? I'm pretty sure in Korean culture, if it's two-handed, it's the person who feels like they're in a lesser position.
드시죠.
Oh, wow. She left nothing but broth for herself.
그러지 말걸.
That's not the way your daughter should be. No, exactly. That's what I'm wondering. Like, really? You're going to be okay with this, Aesun?
잘하는 것을.
Well, that's true. She did see her mom sacrificing for the family.
그러신가?
가슴이 내려앉았다.
속을 미친 사람이.
Oh, that's a mama.
결혼식을 2번 한다는 건 좀 남세스럽죠. 굳이 내려가 영범이 원숭이 노릇 시킬 것도 없고.
Play the what?
금명이 이제 출가 외인이고 우리 집 사람이니까 우리 스타일을 우선해야 되는 거 아닐까요?
Okay.
그런테는 무슨 금명이 국 퍼놓은 것 좀 보세요. 우리가 갈 길이 멀다. 그치?
Insulting her in front of her family, too.
살림까지 하려면 아무래도
그래서 회사는 관두라고 했어.
Can you let the man talk?
그치?
Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't marry nobody who let his family talk to my family like that. We're done.
승용 좀 나오.
아, 네.
Someone flip a table, please. Calm down.
퍼리콘, 한 퍼리콘.
Yeah, Guanxik never put up with that. Well, he did, but only because she put up with it. And then exactly, he made the decision.
아빠가 돌아앉던 그 찰나를 엄마는 평생 잊지 못했다.
Period.
제가 할게요. 제가. 저도 잘 보여.
그냥 앉아있어.
That's the most you can do?
저도 잘하는데.
들어요.
This is just not a good match, guys. I'm sorry. It's not a good match.
너무 귀해서 너무 아까워서
Mm-hmm.
제가 안 가르쳤습니다.
That's right. She got to go to school. And you're talking to her like she's trash. That's right. Give it to your daughter first. Eat up. Y'all want some scorched rice soup? Get it yourself.
많은데 막히면 더 늦어요. 더.
그냥 택시 타요, 좀. 택시 타라고.
Gumyoung, you frustrate me, girl.
가요, 빨리.
아빠 갈게.
Mom and daughter acting exactly the same again. Ma'am, I'm sorry. He may be a nice young man, but you're signing up for a life of misery, girl.
나 또 잘못했지.
Yep, big time. And if you're asking, you know. He needs to grow up and learn to stand up to his family if he's going to marry against their wishes or do what they want. This won't do if you say you love her.
얘가 이제 아주 내가 입만 떼도 껴드네. 왜? 얘는 부모 앞에서도 더 역성 들지.
조용히 좀 가면 죽냐? 죽어.
Mom, Dad says, shut up!
목소리 해도 열불 내팔.
어머니!
왜?
Exactly. Don't speak up now. You should have spoken up then.
저도 무지막지 안전했던 온실에서 말도 못하게 귀하게 컸어요.
She was.
우리 금명이네 친정 있어. 친정 있어.
그거 알려주려고 그랬어?
당신이 잘 참대.
You were both holding back because you love her.
마음이야 100번 1000번 엎었지.
But you don't want to break her
헤어졌잖아,
heart.
얘가.
Exactly. You're both big softies for your girl.
해. 다 해.
As usual, Guanxik, whatever you want to do, babe, I got you. Whatever you want to do, I got your back.
뭐 죄졌어? 삐쳤어? 집에서는 맨날 대작질만 하는 게 무슨? 너 우리 집
She is, though.
쫄이면 엄마 아버지는 쫄 중에 쫄 되는 거야.
She's not lying, though.
아, 30대는 무슨?
You look great. You look fantastic.
꽃 안 넣을 거야? 꽃.
꽃은 무슨?
아이, 분홍에 꽃잣을 넣으셔야지.
Why not? Make it pretty.
나댈 것 같은가?
뭐, 딸 자식 하나 더
It's
있어.
true. You're gonna have one daughter's marriage.
이렇게 쫑쫑쫑 하는 거 있잖아. 그거를 철용이 형 장가들 때 거기는 봤거든.
꽃 넣고 싶었는데 뭐. 자, 꽃.
Maybe a little. You know your mom.
뭘로 해요? 그 팥죽색으로.
아유, 사모님. 그거보단 분홍이 100번 낫죠.
She wants to wear pink.
엄마는 분홍을 좋아하셔.
Exactly.
촌스러 분홍은.
You're tacky. Wow. You look so happy. This looks like this is definitely the right decision, Gumyoung. Definitely.
뭐 구체적으로 언지를 좀 주시면요. 저희가 마음만 받겠습니다. 내 마음만 받으세요. 그러지 마세요.
Honestly, it makes me sick to see her groveling to this cow. A-sun doesn't deserve to do this to anyone. She has not wronged this woman.
금명 어머니. 예,
Uh-oh.
제가 사실 말을 못하면 죽는 병이 있습니다.
Oh, here it comes. Shows how creative you can be by being an absolute cow. Because anyone can do that.
그럼 지금 둘이 계셔?
He left. See, he knows.
왜? 둘이 계시면 안
He
돼?
knows.
자식 위에 못할 말이 뭐 있겠습니까?
No, please show your true colors, please. Let it all out.
나는 금명이가 안 이뻐요. 정이 안 가요. 이런 집에 기어코 보내셔야겠어요. 각자 자기 자식 맡읍시다. 어찌되든 간 한 번만 세게 좀 막아봅시다.
Do I have to slap that fake smile off her face just for talking smack about my kid?
금명이가 왜
Explain it.
어디가 이렇게 마음에 안
Explain.
차세요?
Explain what's wrong with her beautiful, smart, capable daughter.
영범이가 얼마나 불편해.
불편하면 좀 어때? 너는 걔가 그렇게 좋으니?
뭐?
Kim Young is making herself very unlikable in this episode. Really and truly.
정이 안 가.
Oh,
걔
she's
뭐?
saying
뭐
what
하나
her,
볼거 있어?
but the woman said word for word.
고시를 턱하니 붙은 것도 아니고.
But she doesn't want her daughter to have to hear it. That's why.
그럼 엄마는 왜 어머니 앞에서 찍소리도 못 하는데 뭘 그렇게 절절절절.
너한테 착각해 그럴까봐.
Right? She's looking out for
너
you.
미워할까봐 내가 참은 거지.
She knows what it's like to have
아니야?
an evil mother-in-law.
특히 내 승질대로만 하냐고.
차라리 그냥 해.
That's very guanxik of her.
이 속에 생치기 나면 엄마 아빠 가슴 속에는 피멍 드는 거야.
Get it through your
피멍.
head. You mean the world to your parents.
얼마나 복다쳤으면 제가 나한테 이래. 너 아주 영범이를 잡는구나. 잡아.
어머니 제 말 안 들리세요?
어머님.
I don't think you're speaking up loud enough, sir.
이렇게 알아듣게 말씀을 드렸는데도
She's like both her parents,
기어코
to be
나랑
honest.
사돈을 맺어야 직성이 풀리시겠대.
어머니 가세요. 가.
놔!
Now she heard the truth.
저희 엄마한테 뭐라고
Yeah,
하셨어요?
what did you say to my mom?
이 결혼 좀 말려보자고 했다 왜? 내가 내 할 말도 못하니?
코만 큰 옆였니? 그 옆에 내 나이를 코로 먹었어. 당신이 더 곱고 어려 보이니까.
That's right. Cuss her off, guanxik. Say it to her face next time.
국민학교 때 금명이한테만 조개탄 포개시키던 그 담임 그 말삼. 그
The worst face one.
금명이 착한 어린이상 줬어.
무심양면 안 돼서 급장 뺏긴 마음 우리 애들은 모르게 하려고.
She overcompensates because of her childhood.
내 자식 미움받는 것만큼 속상한 일이 어딨다고.
She knows the feeling personally.
그 코만 큰 옆에 내가 뭔 딴소리해?
Big-nosed woman, I can't. That's what I'm calling her from now on.
뭘 잘해 뭘. 먹을수록 허기지는 게 눈칫밥인데 내가 그걸 몰라.
She does.
내가 몇 마디나 했다고 그러? 그런 것도 엄마한테 배웠니?
Keep talking about my mom.
어디까지 하시려 그래요?
배운
You're not doing anything, that's why.
어머님 한 번도 점잖으셨던 적 없으세요.
Let her
저희
know.
엄마한테 어떻게 하셨을지
Exactly.
저 알 것 같아요.
I've seen your ugly side.
영범이가 어머님 얼마나 부끄러워할지 너무너무 알아서 참은 거예요.
Not embarrassed enough, though.
내가
Look at him. Not backing her up.
이 결혼 준비하는 내내 어머님 댁보다 저희 집이 훨씬 더 품이 있었어요.
1,000%.
저 못하겠어요.
Good for you.
이런 결혼을 어떻게 해.
Exactly.
우리 엄마 아빠 울어.
Exactly.
너 지금 파혼을 하겠다는 소리야?
Yep.
네가
Isn't that what you wanted? What is your problem, man?
네가 왜 가만히 있어?
Exactly.
내
You have no
인생의
control.
프라이 내 지분이야.
80%?
프라이드고 내 인생이고.
How does that even
그거
work?
영범이 거예요.
Well, maybe young Boom needs to know that.
애야 똑똑하겠죠.
Oh, you're sure?
근데 결혼 아닙니까? 결혼은 맞는 집안끼리 섞여야 달이 없어요.
Okay.
저 금명이 굶겨 키운 날 하루도 없고요.
Let her
저
know.
하고 싶다는 거는 뭐든 다 제가.
Exactly.
어려우면 어떻게든 그늘 들지. 양지에서 큰 나무랑 같겠어요?
You're a sunlit tree, sweetie. You're the sewage that's feeding it.
그 돌 어디다 내려두는 건지 아세요?
On your son.
어머니 아들 가슴에
Exactly.
거기 내려두시는 거예요.
Your happiness is all that matters, not his. And she didn't learn a thing from that conversation. Big nose woman. Go on, chick's hilarious. Oh, damn. We're in the future. Oh, no. Okay, I'm confused. Why does she look older here? But I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be her son. Younger? Kudos to this 360 shot with her aging.
주무세요.
그만 좀 해라. 그만 좀. 내가 제 눈치를 보고 살아야겠니? 내가 너를 어떻게 키웠는데 내가 이 꼴을 보자고.
어머님 평생 어머님은 불쌍하시죠.
That's kind of her specialty.
나는 다 너 위해 그랬어. 너 위해 살았어. 너는 걔랑 결혼했으면 더
He
불행했어.
didn't marry her. Thank God.
네가
But I
어떻게
don't feel sorry
나한테
for him
이래.
because you had to man up. You had 100,000 opportunities.
너는 내 인생이야.
Well, that's your problem, ma'am. You should have found something else.
나 바라는 건 한 번도 못 가져보는 병신 같은 제 인생이라고요. 그래도 어머니라도 행복하셔서 됐어요. 이제 결혼식에서 오직 어머니만 웃고 계시잖아요.
Ooh. Clock it. Can we see the wedding picture? Oh, okay.
니네 엄마 때문에 울기도 싫어.
Sorry, sir. Love's not enough. You needed to grow a pair, and it sounds like you never did.
4년 7월 8일 2시에 급병으로 소거하셨다는
Samantha's gonna
것을
think she's crying over North Korea. It's like, no, I promise.
외적의 공격에도 끄떡하지 않던
That sucks, I know, sweetheart. I'm very, very sorry.
나는 간첩처럼
That's what I thought. They're gonna be like, what is wrong with you, ma'am? Should I just drive to the police station?
우리는 7년을 만났고
Damn, that's hard to walk away from.
네가 나랑 살아봤어? 일단 살아보고 말하라고.
내가 왜?
Live with
내가
you?
왜 니네
For
집에서 개똥
what?
취급받고 살아야 되는데?
Exactly. It's not gonna change. You have not solved the ultimate problem here. Your mother.
누가 안 알아? 서로를 애끌어하며
As you would be. That's not gonna turn off overnight, no matter what. What is the point of that security door?
아이 춥게. 추워.
Why are her dogs always out? Gotta end it, bro.
그만해.
We gotta stop the bleeding.
진짜 안 돼?
Unless you're willing to get rid of your mama.
나 이제 안 좋아?
Oh my god.
좋지.
You already know she does. Come on. But I love myself too.
나도 너무 좋아.
Girl! Your parents taught you well.
더는 못하겠어.
내가 우리 집 안 보고 살게.
And how will that make you happy?
너 속상하면 나도 속상해.
And you will grow to resent her for it, especially because you haven't done it already.
서로 너무너무 미워하게 될 것
Exactly. You'd resent him.
어쩌지겠어.
He'd resent you.
같아. 나 고마웠어, 형범아.
It wasn't all bad. Thanks for the good times.
이제 나를 기억해줄 사람이 너라서 너무 다행이야.
안 이러면
It's true. It's like, this is the best I'm ever gonna look. That's right. Let's give a goodbye hug. One last. Soak it up. And then we gotta move on. Although we now know that he never did.
마지막인데
That's why he doesn't want to do it. Understandable.
무슨 일 있으면 꼭 전화는 할 수 있지.
I really can't.
뭐가 그래?
아무도 없던 서울에서 그는 내 연인이요.
A friend.
가족이요. 하루아침에 남이 되는 건 둘만 있던 작은 별에서 어린 왕자가 떠나는 일이었다.
That's exactly what it would feel like, actually. All right. Well, that was the world's longest breakup. But you know what? Considering that they were together for 7 years, it's very understandable that, as I mentioned, you can't just turn emotions off like that, as much as we wish we could sometimes, especially when the breakup is for harder reasons than that. It's just not the way it works, right? The heart wants what it wants. They loved each other for a long time. 7 years is a crazy long time to be with somebody. And yeah, you know, they were each other's everything in many ways. But I'm so proud of Gumyoung for choosing herself. That could not have been an easy thing to do. Not in that time, not with the opportunity it seemingly presented to marry into a family that would have, you know, made sure she would have had the financial stability she didn't have growing up. In the sense of like, I mean, she always had what she needed, but you know, she wouldn't have been poor. Let's put it that way. And, you know, as I said, the love isn't enough. The love just isn't always enough. And I'm glad that, you know, we saw that Aesun and Gwanshik were a bit worried because, you know, they didn't want to see their daughter go through what Aesun went through, right? Aesun knows exactly what it is to have a family, an in-law family that treated you like you were less than, like you were somehow burdening them, like their child was better than you, and that, you know, just your whole presence was an offense. It's a horrible way to live. It's a horrible way to feel. And Asun only tolerated it because of her love for Guanxik, but it ate at her soul. It ate away at her esteem. It made her feel terrible. And thank God, you know, at one point Guanxik did what needed to be done. Asun didn't ask to leave that day. The day that they left that house after his mom slapped her, Asun didn't even look at him and say, I'm leaving this place. Let's take our kid and go. She was prepared to stay there if that's what it took to keep Guanxik happy. But Guanxik did what needed to be done. He said there is no way. He knew his wife was miserable, by the way. He would have left before that. Remember, he kept asking her, are you sure you're okay? You can flip a table if you want to. Like, is everything all right? And she kept lying, which he knew, but telling him, no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Because that's what she thought she had to do to show that she loved him. But he was never happy when she was unhappy. That's what true love is. True love, when you marry someone, and remember, that's exactly what Asun said, or actually, I guess it was, Asun? It's either, or maybe it was Gumyum talking about her parents, but either way, they said that Guanxik always made sure that Asun was never by herself. Since he was 10 years old, even if it was from the shadows, he made sure Asun knew that he had her back unequivocally before anyone else, including his own family. And when you get married, my belief system is when you marry, you know, if you do like Christian wedding vows, for example, it says you forsake your mother and your father, you forsake all others, and then the person you're marrying becomes your new primary family. It's not to say you stop caring about your extended family, but that's why they become extended, because you're no longer putting them at the forefront. You have to put your marriage and the family, if you have children, you create ahead of the needs of your parents, because your parents have their life. Your parents have each other if they're still married. They don't need you to be there to cater to their every whim and need. And so that's exactly what Guanxik did. He took his vows very seriously. Asun was his, like he said, Asun and his kids were his sun, his moon, his God, his religion. That was all he cared about. That was first, and everything else came after. And he always made sure that boundary was clear to his family. And when they crossed that boundary that day, when his mom slapped Asun, he said, nope, that's it. She didn't have to ask. He grabbed his daughter, he grabbed his wife, and he never went back. And that's unfortunately what Yumbom never had the courage to do. He wasn't there. And I don't think it's because he didn't love Asun. I do think he did. But as I said, that dinner told me everything I needed to know. That dinner where his mother was insulting her mother, her father, seeing her family cower to his like they were better than them somehow. I'm sorry, the only way you let something like that happen is if you believe it. Somewhere in there, Young Bum believed that those people were beneath his family, and that's why he allowed that behavior to continue. And it would have never changed. He would have let his mom berate and verbally and emotionally abuse Gumyoung their entire marriage. It never would have changed, because you saw he didn't have the backbone to stand up to her. And she knew that. That's why whenever he tried to yell at her or whatever, she just yelled back like, what are you going to do? Because she knew Young Bum would never actually cross her. And maybe it's because she put all the guilt on him of you're my pride, you're my life, which that's a whole other discussion about how unhealthy it is for anyone to transfix their entire life on their child. Like, ma'am, you had your own life before he was born. Now that he's alive, it doesn't mean that he belongs to you. How dare you? But anyways, unfortunately, that's how she was, and that's why she was so obsessed with what she believed had to be the picture-perfect life for him. And I love that Gumyoung called her out on it and said, you're living your life through him. That's not his life. You're living what you wanted, but it's not you. You're not him. And now you've gone and made the both of you miserable. And I love that Asun said it after they had their little dinner together with his mom. And his mom said, oh, I feel so much better now that I've talked down to your family and basically said that I'll never accept your daughter. Oh, I feel like a boulder's been taken off my chest. And I love that Asun said, girl, maybe you feel lighter, but you just put that boulder on your son. You've crushed his life. You've crushed his heart. You've crushed what he wanted, because his idea of loving you is not crossing you, is not betraying what you want, even if it's not what he wants. And that's what it came down to, right? It came down to last episode, Asun told him, you need to choose to be either my husband or your mom's son. You can't be both in this situation. And even though he told Asun he chose her, that wasn't the truth. The truth was he chose to be a son, and he wanted Gumyoung to reframe her life to accept that, and thank God she wasn't willing to do that. Right? So anyways, overall, it was a super sad situation, and I have to say that it kind of annoyed me. I went off a bit on Gumyoung in this episode because I'm not a fan of her. I guess it just is personal. That's personal preference. For me, I am someone who I'm fiercely protective of my parents. I am fiercely, fiercely protective of them. And I absolutely could never let anybody talk down to my parents, disrespect my parents, make them shrink into shells of what they really are for anyone. If my parents felt that they had to act that way to someone else, for me, I would be sick to my stomach, first of all. But I would never have, if I saw that happening, I would immediately be like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I would never even ask I would never look my mother in the eye and say, I need you to cower and just deal with whatever happens because I need to get me this man. Like, I would be like, would my mom do it for me? Probably not. It's hard to say, actually. No, my mom loves me a lot. She might, if I really made it sound like I would die if I didn't have this man and he didn't mistreat me, she might, but even saying that, I just feel ill. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, I want my mom to be my mom. I love her. I love her as she is. I love my dad the way he is. So I would never want them to cower or act differently or feel inferior to anyone, because they're not. Right? Just because Gumyoung didn't have a silver spoon in her life and have the most glamorous life, the fact that I'm glad that Gumyoung noticed the fact that her dad was doing everything to, suck up to these people. Like, her dad's beautiful, tanned, calloused hands from doing good, honest work his whole life, supporting his family the way he wanted to. And the fact that he felt shame shaking this man who had a different life, soft hands. Right? Not saying that Youngbum's dad didn't work hard because he didn't labor physically, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that there's that perception that if you've got hands that show that you've had a hardworking life, that somehow you're beneath somebody who had a cushy life. Like, that's just, it's incorrect to say the least. But anyway, all of that, like, Gumyoung realizing that, seeing that, like, just, it really did kind of break my heart a little that she was allowing her parents to go through all of that just for the sake of what? Right? Of marrying into a family that was never going to really accept you. But anyways, she did redeem herself a bit at the end, outside of course, choosing herself, but also the fact that her trigger in the end for why she really did end up breaking it off was when Youngbum's mom started to insult her parents. When she started to say the things about her mom, and we know that as much as she torments her mother, Gumyoung don't play about her mom, and she don't play about her dad either. Like, her parents, she loves them as fiercely as they love her. She's just not the best as expressing it. But she is very aware of the fact that they love her to death and they want the best for her. And so as soon as that hag, that big-nosed woman, started to go in on her family, that's when she said, nah, you know what, I would put up with a lot, but you're not going to come from my family like that. That's what's not going to happen. And it's interesting because that's a very Asun thing, right? Asun was the same way when she was younger, right? Asun would put up all sorts of abuse, but if anyone ever came for Gwanshik, she was ready to fight, right? Anyone ever came for her kids, she was ready to fight. So yeah, I love that they showed that even though we saw a lot of bickering and back and forth between Asun and Gumyoung, they both know each other very well. They are each other. It's cute. It's frustrating, but it's because they're so alike. And just the way, like, for example, Gumyoung knew her mom was crying in the car, right? It's like, why didn't she just say what she wanted to say? Why is she crying in the car? Knew that her mom wanted flowers on her handbook, right? Before her mom had the courage to ask. Or the other way around, where Asun knew that the reason why Gumyoung was going out of her way to impress these people is because she watched her mom do the same thing with her in-laws when she was just a baby, right? So I just really like that they show those parallels. And again, how important it is. Parents often don't recognize how much their kids watch of what they do. And of course, I'm not saying anything in Asun's case. She was a child when she had her daughter, but it's something that if you are older, a little bit wiser, and you do have kids later on, it's something to really try to keep in mind, that your kids are constantly watching you. They're constantly observing you, and they will record, repeat what they see and what they grow up with. So it's very important that if you want your kids to learn really foundational lessons about lots of things in life, you have to be as mindful as you can be about the kind of example you're setting for them. But anyway, yeah, that's what happened there. In the end, you know, she said a whole year to break up is crazy, but understandable. 7 years is not something that's going to end like that, especially because they didn't break up because they didn't love each other anymore. They didn't break up because they didn't want a life together. They broke up because Gum Young, thank God, knew her worth and refused to sentence herself to a life of anything less than happiness, right? No one should ever sign up for a life that's less than happiness. We saw what happened. We saw what happened to Young Boom. He never got the courage to stand up to his mom. He did what she wanted. And like he said, look at my wedding picture. You're the only one smiling, Mom. I'm not happy. Dad could care less. The other family, I guess the other family probably hated her too. And from the looks of things, I mean, it looks like he had kids and a family, but his mom looks miserable. It's because she knows her son is miserable. And he's never forgiven her for taking what would have been the love of his life away. But that's what happens when you don't stand up for what you want, folks. Living a life of regret. Would not recommend it, I should say. But yeah, outside of that, we just touched lightly on the painter. He went to the army, apparently, even though he was 20, what did they say he was? 28? Yeah, 28. He hadn't gone to the military, which would have been, I think, close to, because I believe the oldest, you can't go in over 30, right? If my memory serves, for the military in Korea, I believe you can't enlist over the age of 30, or you can't get in. You have to serve your time before you're 30. So he was getting very close to the cutoff, it sounds like. So anyway, he went and he didn't tell anyone. He just up and left. And we see that him and Gum Young actually got pretty close from that time that they were working together. I mean, nothing ever happened romantically, but you know, they literally built a really beautiful kind of friendship, and it looks like they learned a lot about each other. And honestly, I love that little moment. I think the cutest moment was when she said, I can't remember what she said, and he actually burst out in a full laugh. And I realized that it was the first time we'd seen him fully smile. And same thing with Gum Young. Like, that's when I was like, oh yeah, this man is down terrible. Because he don't laugh for many people. He didn't even smile for his mama. So anyway, there's clearly something there. And that painting he made of Gum Young was absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I feel like that would be, even though it's not going to be some big, rich, fancy, settled life, I feel like if she ends up with him, it'll definitely be because she found a man she loved and who would love her back. And I said that in the episode, I saw Guanchik-like qualities with him and with her. So I think that he's going to treat her well. And more importantly, she'll be marrying into a family, or a mother at least, that loves her and thinks she's great just the way she is. And, you know, we heard in the episode where we saw Gum Young about to get married, she said, I swore I wasn't going to be like my mom, but it turns out I was just like her. My guess is in the sense of she ended up marrying someone. At first I thought it was because if she married the rich guy that he did, like, we saw a lot of parallels between him and Guanchik this episode. But really, I think it's because she ended up marrying a guy who is effectively poor, but has a heart of gold and loves her well. And you know what? In this world, people, while I will always say in this life, you should have money if you can. But when it comes to love, choose your heart first. Choose somebody who treats you like you deserve to be treated. If that person does not love you so much that you could cry at the thought of it, it ain't worth it. I'll tell you right now, it ain't worth it. That's what it should be. That's what you should be aiming for. And if you find it, grab onto it. Just like our girl Gum Young probably did. So yeah, that was a very interesting episode. A little bit, heartbreaking for our girl Gum Young, but like I said, proud of her. She made her parents proud, and I think everyone was a lot happier for it all around. So was that it? Yeah, there's really not much to mention about Im Young. Just finding out the fact that the girl he's in love with, that there was a past with the parents. But like I said, that wasn't even worth mentioning because nothing ever happened. They literally were engaged for an hour before they broke it off. So yeah, that was it. Another good episode. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.